Evening guys, I thought I would take a break from farming heavy junk boxes, which I've been doing for the last few hours for the Insane in the Membrane achievement. It is indeed driving me a little insane, so I thought I'd take a break and quickly run over my UI. I really like my UI, I think it's awesome. Obviously what I'll say first though is that UI is a very personal thing. You should get it looking however you like it. Get it looking how you want to be, looking at your screen when you're in combat, when you're raiding, when you're doing PvP, whatever you're doing, because you are going to be looking at it all the time you're in the game. So I like mine. If you don't like mine, it's probably a good time to stop watching the video now. But if you like bits of it or whatever, keep watching. I'll go over quickly all of the different add-ons I use to make it, and hopefully you can get yours looking how you like as well. So the first thing I'll go over is the main outline all around the edge here. Obviously you see on the top, down the sides, all these brown boxes and stuff, the overall look of it, and that's all done through LUI v3. And basically LUI is a user interface that comes as a package. It comes with loads of modules, loads of stuff already with it, so it comes with its own chat box, nameplates, unit frames, cooldown counter. Basically you can just disable or enable all the bits as you wish. I use my own unit frames, so I've disabled theirs, but it's just a matter of clicking it on and it brings up the unit frame it comes with. So I'll disable that again. You can go into frames. It shows you Omen, which is this box here. DPS, and you get to choose out of Recount or SCADA. Obviously we've got Recount down here. Raid gives you your raid frames here in this little box. You can choose grid. I use grid. You can choose Voodoo. You can use Blizzard's standard raid frames, OUF, or you got a heal bot there. And then your chat, you can just change a few bits with your chat window here if you wish to. Got my different tabs there and stuff. But yeah, there's a load and load of detail you can go into here. It did take me a few hours to configure this how I wanted it, sorting out all the add-ons and that. So yeah, go into, if you do want to download LUI, do take the time, get it looking how you like. You can go into colours, change the theme. So I've got mine on Warrior, it's made everything brown. You can go Death Knight, it all goes red, Priest, white, Paladin, pink if you really want. Quite a vibrant pink there, but whatever you want. So I put mine back to Warrior, and yeah, LUI. So download that if you like the overall look of this. The next thing I'll go over is Bartender 4. I'm not sure if it came with the LUI package. I think it did, but if it didn't, just download it as a separate add-on. Bartender 4. Get the options up for that by typing /BT4, and you've got loads of bars you can play about with. Obviously you don't need them all. If you hit lock, which unlocks them, it shows you where your bars are. So I've got my bar 1 here, bar 3, bar 4, bar 5, bar 6 would be there, but I've currently got nothing on it, so it's invisible. Stance bar, vehicle bar, and once you've dragged them to whatever position you want it in, hit lock and they will stay where they are. Next button there, button lock. If that's checked, you cannot move any of your abilities off of their buttons by accident. If you uncheck it, as you can see, it's gone. Obviously you don't want that happening in the middle of a fight, don't want it happening while you're raiding or while you're in PvP, because it's a pain to get it back on there in a rush. So once you've got your buttons and your abilities where you want them, hit button lock and they will stay there. Fantastic, we love it. Next thing you can do is you can go into bar 1, so this is my bar 1. You can change it how you want, so it's enabled. You can change the scale, mine's at 1.45, but you can make it way smaller, you can make it massive. Put it however big you want it. You can change the visibility, you can do it fade out, so it only really shows when you're hovering over it. I don't like that, but you may. You can change the positioning again. And then you've got key bindings. You can obviously bind your keys Blizzard's classic way of going into your game menu, key bindings, but then you've got to scroll through all of these, find the bar you're looking at, find the ability where it is on the bar. It's much easier in my opinion just to type /BT4 key bindings, and then you just hover over whatever you want. So cancel Bladestorm, I can set that to, there you go, set it to that. And once you're happy with that, yeah, OK, and that will be bound. Again, Bartender, like LUI, has got loads and loads of different stuff you can do with them. Take the time, get them looking, and get the bars how you want them. so that they're easy for you to use. It is worth putting in the time in the end. The next thing I'll go over is my unit frames. Obviously we've got me, my target. They are shadowed unit frames, that's the add-on, and you can configure it by typing /SUF. Brings up the box, and what you can do is you can go into enabled units, and you can check or uncheck what unit frames you want that to show. Party, raid, you know, player, pet, target, focus target, all that good stuff, and just keep on what you want to have on there. They're not too hard to configure at all. You just go into unit configuration, you can go into player, you can configure each one separately. So if you didn't want, you know, your player to have a portrait, take that off. You can change the height and the scale of it, you can change, you know, you can have a power bar, health bar, you can have what you want on there. But in the end they look quite nice and simple but effective, so that's why I use them as my unit frames. Next thing I'll go over is my combat text, so we'll charge in here, and there we go. We've got the combat text scrolling down here, and that's mixed scrolling combat text is the add-on for that. So you got your outgoing damage coming down here, crits popping out in the middle, any incoming damage and healing will be popping out down here for me. But what you can do is you can type /MSBT, it's actually mixed scrolling battle text, and you can configure it from there. Go into scroll areas, configure scroll areas, so you can see my outgoing is here, incoming is here, notifications are there, and static is there. I've disabled both of them. It's just extra stuff I don't really want to be seeing. So you can go into, yeah, so I've disabled notification and static, just got incoming damage and healing and outgoing damage there. There's a few extra stuff you can configure here. Loot alerts, triggers, so if, you know, something specific happens, you can get it to inform you of that. If you don't want stuff to tell you, if you don't want it to tell you certain stuff, you can take it off. So that's quite nice. Not too confusing, but you know, again, take a little bit of time, set up how you want it, and it'll be looking great by the end of it. Next thing, I'll just show you, this is a nice little add-on, it's called Move Anything. Normally the Blizzard cast bar would be down here, but when it was down here it was actually blocking the bottom of these abilities. So I'll cast my Proto-Drake, and it's over here, so it's not getting in the way of anything. Nice slam, nice and out of the way. It's not down here, it's not blocking anything. So yeah, that's an add-on called Move Anything, and it literally does what it says on the tin. It allows you to move almost anything that's in the Blizzard standard UI, and almost any other add-on stuff that you got there. Next thing is my boss mod, /DBM. It's Deadly Boss Mods. Not too much to configure with this. It's slightly easier to configure than stuff like Bigwigs. It's never given me any trouble at all. Always been incredibly handy. I would recommend it. Obviously in a boss fight it will tell you what's going on, it will tell you when the boss is about to use its ability, tell you when you need to AoE stuff down. It's incredibly handy for almost any boss fight. So I'd definitely say go for DBM, or if you want, go for Bigwigs. Again, it's personal choice, but get one of them. Next thing I'll go over is Power Auras. I did cover them slightly in my Warrior vid, but type /POWA. When it does, it brings up this. I'll show you my test all. So these are all the Power Auras I've got set up. All the ones up here are for my procs and my cooldowns. When they're active, or when I've got the buff from the proc, they will show. So this is from my Crash of the Final Dragon trinket. And yeah, it just shows me when I've got each certain buff active. All the ones down here, that shows me when Mortal Strike's off cooldown. That shows me when I can use Overpower, that's when Colossus Smash is on the target. This one is for when I've got Battle Trance buff, so I know that I can get a rage-free ability. And that shows me when I've got Insight procced, which means I get a guaranteed crit on Heroic Strike. All very handy, nice and easy to set up. All you got to do is right click, well, I'll make a new one, so click New. Here you can choose any of these preset designs if you wish, or if it's a buff that you're looking to do it for, like these ones, you type in the name of the buff here, whatever it may be, so Insight, do another one for that, and yeah, then you can use own texture if you want to, and it'll actually use the picture of the buff. If you don't want to use the own texture, you got to pick a design. And yeah, you move it to where you like using the positioning, up and down, left and right, and then yeah, it will show you basically whenever your buff or debuff or ability procs, that will pop up nice and easy, and it will show you, you know, that you can use that ability. Handy to have. I'll delete that one. Okay, do that there. So yeah, that's Power Aura's classic. Next thing I'll show you is my plates. So this is Plates+Threat plates. There we go. So basically Tidy Plates is the first add-on. It gets them looking how they do now. Threat Plates is another add-on that basically allows you to configure it so that they change colour depending on how much threat you have. So it's handy for tanks. If you're looking at, you know, AoE tanking some mobs, you can see if you're losing any of them. And it's also handy if you're a bit of an aggro hungry DPS. It shows you when you're about to get aggro, so you can switch to a different mob or back off a little bit. Nice and handy. Green, yellow or red depending on your threat level. And the last thing I'll quickly go over is Cooldown Count. As you can see on my abilities here and cooldowns, use that and it shows me I've got a 2-minute cooldown. Use Mortal Strike, 5 seconds left, 3 seconds left, 1 second left, and it's off cooldown. Really nice and easy way of seeing what moves are coming up that you can use. It's good for planning ahead, and obviously planning ahead is key to maximising your DPS. And that's about it for my add-ons, guys. As I said at the start, it's all to do with preference. I really like my UI. If you do, download the add-ons that help make it. I'm guessing most of you will know how to download add-ons. If not, download a program called Curse Client, C-U-R-S-E Client, and from there you can download any number of add-ons that help enhance your WoW gameplay. You can use as many or as little as you like. You don't have to use any, but you know, these days there's so many out there that can help you. It's worth having a look at them. Once again, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you did like it, if you do like my other videos, please do subscribe, like, comment. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will try and get back to you, or any requests for how-to videos or anything like that. And yeah, I'll be looking at putting up more videos in the future. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys.